It has now been 36 hours since the Luka trade. There has been a shift in our world. There was the world before Luka got traded, and there's the world after Luka got traded. When you're talking about monumental sports moments in history, this is one of them that we all experienced on Saturday night when Luka Doncic got traded willingly to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, some other things, Maxi Kleber, Max Christie, Jalen Josefino, one pick to the Mavericks. This was a trade in the moment that was unbelievable. It still feels unbelievable. It still feels as shocking as when it happened. Uh, the fact that as soon as it happened, everyone thought that Shams was hacked. They thought that this was fake. They thought that this could not be happening. Other people came out, Sports Center, ESPN, all these news sites started reporting it as fact, and it's just the most shocking news story of the year so far in terms of sports, when you have a guy who did not request a trade, did not show any signs of, infighting between the management. Nothing ever came out between him and the front office. Nothing between him and the fans, between him and the team or his teammates. Never been a locker room cancer or anything like that. A 25-year-old superstar generational offensive player who could get his shot off and score anywhere and everywhere on the court, can make any pass on the court to any player. When you're talking about playmaking, he is top 2 up there with Jokic. This is a guy that you look at, every franchise dreams of this guy. Jordan, LeBron, Curry, Kevin Durant when you got him, just these Magic Johnson, like these guys that instantly put your franchise on top. When it comes to a playoff series, you have the guy. You always have the best player in the series, and like whatever the other team can do, anything like that, you have the best guy, and that you always have that to look up to. That we have Luka Doncic, we have LeBron James, we have Michael Jordan. Good luck stopping him. You can try to stop us from doing this or that, offensively, defensively. We're gonna do different schemes and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you still have to worry about the fact that we have Michael Jordan, we have LeBron James, we have Luka Doncic, we have Steph Curry, we have Kevin Durant. These players, these generational players, and this term has been thrown out a lot for a lot of people, but Luka is one of those guys, and he is in the prime of his career. He is has made All NBA first team every single year except his rookie season and this year because he's been a bit too injured, which means that he's been voted by the media as a top 5 player every single year except his rookie season. He's been top 3 in MVP voting at least 3 or 4 times by now. This is a guy guaranteed to win multiple MVPs in his career, guaranteed to win multiple championships in his career. And that's obviously, he hasn't done it yet. But when you look at the caliber of player that he is, it feels inevitable. We're already talking about Wembanyama like this. We're already talking about, he's going to be an MVP candidate. He's going to win multiple championships. Because it feels inevitable, because we know it to be true. Guys like Jokic, Giannis, these guys came into the league. We didn't think about them like this, but obviously their play, their game, their stats, the way they take over games and all that, we see that to be true, like that they are generational players. Luka came in, the Mavericks traded with the Hawks to get Luka in the draft. The Kings could have gotten him, the Suns could have gotten him, they didn't. The Mavericks saw something in Luka, and it makes sense. This was a 14-year-old kid who played EuroLeague. I think he won the MVP there at 16 years old. In retrospect, it's like a most obvious, no duh moment. But at the time, it wasn't such an obvious, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be amazing. And ever since he's been in the league, he's a playoff killer. There's so many good things you could say about Luka, and the way people are talking about him is like he died. It's like he's no longer with us. He is with us. He's just on the damn Lakers, and that's the really crazy thing about it. There's so many angles and so many things to talk about in terms of why the reason why that they provided was his conditioning, his defense. There was some issues between the front office. They didn't think that he could be the guy And I just believe all those reasons are BS. I believe the conditioning has been a flaw with him. He has come in not always a little bit overweight, you know, but this is a guy that even when he's like that, he still can drop a 30-point triple double any day of the week with whatever team you put out there. He's just that good. And this just feels like such a like like what do you think? Like you won in sports outside of winning a championship. The way you win secondhand is if you get a guy who you know can lead you to a championship. And Luka is that guy. Made it to the Western Conference Finals. Last year, you trade for Gafford and PJ Washington. You put him with Kyrie, and you have this great defensive team. They were ranked 6th in defense after the All-Star break last year. And what do? They go to the damn finals. Yeah, they lose, but they lost to the Celtics. And I mean, the Celtics are just a juggernaut offensively and defensively. And you know, Luka didn't have the greatest series. He had some bad moments. Just he has his problem with the refs, obviously. But these are things. These are not like issues with like how good he is or his talent or anything like that. These are things that this is like a stepping stone for him. You have to lose to come back stronger. I mean, LeBron lost in the 2007 finals. Michael Jordan struggled in the second round against the Pistons and all that. Steph Curry and those guys lost in the playoffs before they won. He had those injury issues. Like, great players they often fail before they win. And it just felt like inevitable that the Mavericks were gonna win as long as they had Luka. You always put them in the championship contender. You always put him in MVP talks from the start of the season because you know that's how good he is. And I guess Nico Harrison felt otherwise, the Mavericks GM. And I mean, first of all, like, we learned that they talked to the Lakers. Nico Harrison talked to Rob Pelinka and brought up trading Luka. Rob Pelinka thought he was like trolling or joking. I mean, we got to report that Shams, when he got the text about this trade, that he thought that it wasn't real. Literally, when it happened, everyone thought it wasn't real, that this couldn't be happening, that this can't be true, that that's all they got for Luka. And you're telling me that this was a good trade? Like, I know with time, we will see how everything works out and the team. The Mavericks are still a pretty decent team. Anthony Davis, we need to get this out of the way. Anthony Davis is still an amazing player, still can be a top 10 player in the league on any given night. But he is a bit older. He's going to turn 32. And he has never been as good as Luka has been. And I mean, everyone is going to talk about him and has been talking about him like he's a scrub. It's just unfortunate. Like, there's tiers and there's levels to this. And Luka is in the top echelon of the league. He is easily every year top 5, most years top 3. Inevitably, he will be the best player. And on most days in the NBA, he is the best player in the league. And you're trading him for a guy who at best could be a top 5 on some nights, more often than not between the 10 and 15 range. Defensively, he's still amazing. But it's unfathomable. Like, we made this jokes, if you put this trade on 2K, it doesn't work. Like, everyone has just gone insane with this trade because it feels like you're jumping the gun. It feels like you're thinking too hard about this. You won. You got the easy part. You got the generational superstar. You've been building teams around him. You've put the right guys around him. You got Kyrie, a secondary scorer. You got these rim running Derek Lively. You got PJ Washington and all these 3-and-D like wings. You got the team. And you have issues with Luka, his conditioning, whatnot. These are things like, I just don't buy that that's a real issue. Defense, sure. Defense for Luka, he is never going to be the best because obviously have his offensive load. But he has shown in the past few years putting more effort on defense. And I feel like this is just like such a, like, you're thinking too hard about it. Like, apparently they didn't want to pay him the Supermax contract, $300 million. He could be doing whatever drugs. He could be eating garbage and I'd still give him that contract, because if he's doing that, he's still playing a top 2 player in the league while being fat. And yeah, he has his weight issues, like I said, but this is a guy that as he gets through the season, he gets more fit, more into game shape. And I mean, this is just such like a mind numbing thing to think about. Like how do you even come to this conclusion that, like, when you have these guys, you do everything in your power to get the team around them because you know that they can lead you. Luka can lead you to a championship. LeBron can lead you to a championship. Michael Jordan can lead you to a championship. This is like trading uh LeBron after he lost against the Spurs. I know eventually he left, but this is like preemptively trading him because we don't want to pay him. We don't think he can do this or that. This is the caliber of player that we're talking about here. And of course he goes to the damn Lakers, bro. They just fall into success, these guys. And I mean, we'll talk about the Lakers a bit more, but just staying on the Mavericks here, like, I don't know if Nico Harrison really thought that Luka could, like, he's not the guy. Okay, sure. But why did you only talk to the Lakers? Like, this was so surprising. Luka didn't know about it. AD didn't know about it. LeBron said he didn't know about it. I'm sure most people would not think about doing this. And if you really don't want Luka, like, why not make it known to other teams? There are a lot of teams. I think every single team would think about it and would trade just about anything. You talk to OKC, I know they got Shea, but they got 10 draft picks and Jalen Williams. Here you go. Talk to the Rockets, Jalen Green, Amin, Tari, Şengün, whoever you want. We'll give you those guys. We'll take Luka. Spurs, you want to pair up Luka with Wembanyama? Yeah, I'll give you everything in my house, and then I'll give you the least in my house if you give me Luka. Like, I will give you anything for this guy. That, and obviously when you tell everybody, hey, we're gonna trade Luka or something like that, like, the secrecy, like, there's you lose some negotiating, whatever, but people will give you a lot more than just Anthony Davis and one first round pick. We saw literally the next day, I'll talk about it in the next video, about the Spurs getting De'Aaron Fox and the Kings getting 3 first round picks and 3 second round picks. I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? And if you are trading with the Lakers, why not ask for Reeves? Why not ask for their rookie Dalton Connect? Why not ask for both of their picks? Why not take them for everything that they have? Like, this is just, like, so ridiculous. Like, you could have gotten so much more if you really didn't think that this guy, who is definitely the guy, if you didn't think he was this good, like, why not get as much as you can for him? Because apparently everybody else thinks that he's this good, you know? So I don't know what's wrong with Nico Harrison. I don't know what's wrong with his brain. I don't know if he's been on drugs this whole time. Like, I don't care. Like, there is something in his press conference afterwards, like, just the way that he talked about it, and it just feels like he doesn't think, like, it's that big of a deal, or that he didn't just trade a guy who was easily going to become your franchise best player. Like, you had him in his rookie season, and in Dirk's last season, your franchise guy and your future franchise guy played one season together. That's, like, both European guys. This is like a storybook franchise. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a no-brainer. You keep Luka until he tells everybody on stage, I want to get traded. Like, that's the only time you think about trading him, because you have the guy that everybody wants. These young players, whoever, like, they have potential, sure, but when you come down to it, you're like, man, if we want to get through the West, we got to beat Luka and the Mavericks. We got to get through Shea. We eventually, Wembanyama, we're going to have to get through Wemby. How are we going to solve that? You go through the East, Bucks, they've been, the Bucks are a different thing, but we got to get through Giannis. We got to figure out how to stop Giannis. And then when we figured out how to stop him, he came back and won, because he figured out how to, overcome that. Same with Jokic. We got to get through Jokic and the Nuggets. The Nuggets as a team, they are what they are, but we got to figure out how are we going to stop Jokic. And most of the time, the answer is you don't stop them. You just hope that you can contain them and limit them enough so that their team, that nobody else on their team, like, you want MPJ to hit 10 threes to beat you type. You don't want Jokic to beat you, or if you do, you want Jokic to have a great game and nobody else have a good game. Like, these are difficult players to they're so good because there is no real way to stop them. They will get their buckets, they will help their teammates, and you just traded that guy. The Mavericks just traded that guy, and they said they did it because they think defense wins championships. I'm sorry, you won with Dirk, who is not a defensive guy. Every single year, offense wins championships. The Celtics last year, great defensive team. Elite perimeter defenders, Drew and Derek White. You got Tatum and Brown and KP in the back holding them down at the rim. They won because their offense was insane. They hit threes at a level that we've never seen before. The only championship that you can really say that defense won was the Pistons 2004. Every single year, you can point to, yeah, that team might have had a great defense, but they also have a damn good offense, and they have a guy. Every single championship, there's a guy. Kawhi with the Raptors, Giannis, Jokic, LeBron, Steph, KD. Like, you need the guy to win a championship. At the end of the day, you need that guy. And Luka is at the caliber of those guys. And it's just unreal that this trade happened and that it's real. And that the fact that he went to the Lakers, bro. Oh my God, Rob Pelinka just secured himself a lifetime contract. Like, he's going to stay with the Lakers until he's dead. Like, there is no reason for him to ever get fired. And I mean, like, for the Lakers, like, this is A plus times a trillion. Like, sure, we love AD, but AD got us a championship, and now he got us our next best thing. Because for the Lakers, this was a year that you're like, AD came out pretty strong. LeBron is still playing. They're still good, but they're not real contenders. And, LeBron has about 1 or 2 more years left. AD after that, like I said, he's on the older side. He has his big contract. The question was, who are we going to pair next to him? People always want to go to LA. I've heard like Trae Young to Lakers and whatnot. Sure. But you just solved your biggest problem. You have the future, and the future is Luka. And for the Mavericks, man, they said defense wins championships. I'm sorry. Your ceiling was championships because of Luka. Now Luka is gone. You got 32-year-old Anthony Davis. You got older Kyrie. You got Klay Thompson. And you just got a team of great role players. This is a team that is still going to be good. Their defense on the interior is going to be great. I don't think that their offense is going to be worse, but they're not going to like completely be top on like bottom 10 or anything like that. Like, they're still going to be a good team. But you have to win this year or next year, or I don't know, because Kyrie has a player option at the end of this year. And for Kyrie, like, I know he's been there. He obviously has a relationship with, the city and all that. But this is a guy that has gone to the Celtics. I'm going to resign. He leaves. Go to the Nets. I want to stay here. Gone. I can't trust that Kyrie will want to stay here after we see what they've done to his boy Luka, And Anthony Davis, like my friend Sam on our podcast, Pushing the Pace podcast, please go listen to the latest episode, which will be coming around the time that this video is out, where me and him talk for almost 2 hours just strictly on this trade, because he's a Mavericks fan. There was so many angles to go deep dive into this that you should definitely go check out over there, because it was a great podcast episode. But like, man, this is just like it just still doesn't feel real that the Lakers of all teams, they get Kareem, they get Magic, they get Shaq, they get Kobe. Shaq leaves, Kobe paired up with Pau Gasol. Kobe's retiring. You got 3 bad years. Boom, you got LeBron. LeBron plays with the guys. Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. Thank you. Goodbye. You get us Anthony Davis. Win a championship. We got Russ. Didn't really work out. We kind of, struggling here and there. We don't have that many good role players. LeBron is getting older. What do we do? I'm Rob Pelinka. Actually, no, I'm Nico Harrison. You're Rob Pelinka. Lakers, please let me save you. Do you want Luka? Yeah, no, I'll give you Luka. Yeah, I just want Anthony Davis. Yeah, picks? I'll take a pick. Picks are cool. But I just want Anthony Davis, and I really don't want this fat slob, this fat disgusting idiot, Luka Doncic. Who even likes this guy, right? I hate this guy. I hate this guy and I want him to die. So I'll give him to you, because he's too fat and he doesn't play defense, and he's only been only been All-Star every year, only been All NBA every year, only been MVP contention every year, only been to the finals last year, and we have a great team, and he's he's a generational player, and this and that franchise. But I don't really care about that. I just want Anthony Davis, and I want to help you, the Lakers, be good, because I know the Celtics are good, and I want the Lakers to be good because they, rivalries is fun, blah, 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 blah. And LeBron, Luka, wouldn't that be so cool? And then you're Rob Pelinka, you're like, are you okay? Are you on drug? Like, again, if I was Rob Pelinka and I heard that, I would think it's like an AI voice. I would need a FaceTime. I need to see the words come out of your mouth. You need to write this down. I want to trade you, Luka. I need to see you face to face. I need to smell you. I need to look you in the eyes and say, "Are you serious right now?" And even then, I wouldn't believe you that you want to trade Luka. Like, I'm sorry, this is, and I know everyone's talking about this. And if you're not like if you don't really know Luka like that, or you haven't watched him, or you don't keep up as well, or anything like that, just go watch. There's going to be so many compilations. The NBA posted an hour compilation of his clutch moments. Mavericks obviously going to post about him. I mean, you can find just so many highlights of him. Like, watch him, and then, like, it seems like glazing from everybody. And we talk about this like he's dead, like he's no longer with us. Like, I can't believe this happened, because outside of him dying, or outside of somebody dying, this is like as shocking that this happened, because it just feels like such a no-brainer. Like, you got Luka Doncic. Okay, figure out the rest. And you basically have figured out the rest with the Mavericks. They made it to the finals. And yeah, you lost, but it's not like he lost a leg. It's not like he's chain smoking every day. He's smoking crack. He's not doing cocaine. He's not eating junk food during the game. He's not stuffing his face with candy or whatever. Like, yeah, he has his problems. He has his flaws. But this is a guy that every team, it's just like such a guarantee. Like, okay, even though we got this problem, that problem, we still got this guy. And, you're going to have to worry about this guy because he plays on our team. Like, the Mavericks won. Going from Dirk to Luka, it's just, it's unbelievable that they did this move. In 5 years, you'll remind me, oh yeah, remember Luka got traded to the Lakers? Oh my God, I'm going to fall down to my knees again. Why did they do that? Oh, right. Yes, if I remember, in the past 5 years, the Lakers won 3 championships with Luka. Oh, LeBron and Luka won another one. Oh, blah, 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 And obviously for the Lakers this year, the rest of the roster, Luka's still a little bit hurt. I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs. I don't even know if they'll make it to the playoffs. Like, they're not a great roster. But that doesn't matter, because you got your guy for the next 10 years. Your future is set, and now you just got to do exactly what you got to do what the Mavericks did. You got to get a secondary scorer beside Luka that will gain attention and can create some offense for himself and or others. And you got to get rim running centers, and you got to get guys that can play defense and shoot threes. I know that sounds like a lot, and for the Lakers roster, it kind of is, because their roster's not that good. But I mean, you got your next guy. You got the next guy that will, talking about Lakers legends, Luka is the next one in that. And it's so crazy that they win again by basically doing nothing. I mean, I don't even know what else to say anymore. Just the craziest trade and move and most shocking thing that's happened this year in sports. And I mean, February has been a month. If you want to listen to more of me ranting, and my friend Sam, who is a Mavericks fan, who gave great insight on how he felt, and we talked a lot more in depth about all the different aspects of this, and just trying to come to sense of this, trying to understand and rationalize this, please go check out the latest episode of Pushing the Pace podcast. I will link it down below. But thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Goodbye.